So, are you excited?
This is what we're dealing with here. Look at this.
Out on the nature walk, I got some dandelion greens, which will go perfect in a salad. You can't eat it by itself because it's really bitter, but it's really good for the liver. I was only able to get 2 dandelion roots because these are really hard to pull out of the ground. I didn't have the proper tool to do it, but I was able to get 2. I got so many dandelions, and I feel like I didn't even get that many, but after I pulled it out of my basket, I was like, holy moly, because I got this. And then these are the ones that I've already deflowered for my dandelion honey or dandelion jam, whatever you want to call it. But it's so soft. I wish you guys can feel this. It's like really soft. And it's so pretty. It's so yellow. So yeah, so I'm going to move on to the next step. Cook this up and to make some honey. Looking good.
One of the things I've wanted to do for so many years is make my own compost tea, make our own seaweed juice and seaweed fertilizer. And then I've always wanted to make my own rock dust, and so I'm hoping that we can take the shells that are from the local area and grind them up into a powder and add that minerals to our soil too.
For sure. Are you rolling now? Oh.
Yeah. Looks great, baby. Yes.
It'll look better once there's a movie playing on it.
Okay.
Oh, that's so pretty.
That's what I'm saying.
Whoa. What is that?
I mean, it's a living organism, but I don't know what it is.
That is nasty looking. Gross.
It's our lunch.
Ew. Probably like a tapeworm.
It's protein. It's the only way we're gonna survive.
You look very, very sexy right now.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Let's go. Job's done.
Do you like my new scarf?
Yes.
Do you think he's enjoying himself?
It looks like he is, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he looks pretty chill.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. He's so soft.
Hey guys, so when you garden, it's really important to have coconut coir or peat moss to retain the moisture in healthy soil. And I was in town last time and I got a little tiny bag of sphagnum peat moss there. And these are usually grown in peat bogs, and a lot of them are grown in British Columbia. So I always feel that, you know, we're like stripping the earth of its skin when we buy this and produce this commercially, even though it's grown and farmed. You guys who are gardeners know peat moss, right? One of the goals here at Komorebi is to create a closed cycle of resources here on site. And so when we garden, we don't want to keep having to buy stuff. Initially, we might buy some things, like I had to buy the chainsaw, I had to buy an axe, I had to buy my shoes, you know, but eventually I want to be self-sustaining, and that includes creating our own compost and our own moisture retaining soil amendments. Second thing, I love when Puma sits like that.
It's the best.
And this splits.
Kai, catch the bugs. He's just sitting there trying to catch the bugs.
Kai is?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Okay, so on the property here at Komorebi, we have this moss, which I gotta find the exact variety. I don't know the exact variety yet. There's so many varieties of mosses. We have this moss plentiful everywhere, and it will replenish itself. So we don't want to decimate the property, but we want to sustainably harvest this, and we're going to use this as the moss to combine with our compost for our healthy soil to be light and fluffy and retain moisture and give the plants this amazing airspace to produce their roots in. So even down here by where Puma was doing the splits, we got on this old decaying wood, we've got this moss, right?
Did he just take it?
Why? So we have this moss everywhere. And if we come over here on this side, same thing. We have so much of this moss. And this can also be made, a lot of this, like the old man's beard, can be made into a tea to boost our immune system. Look at the difference. See them? This one over here just looks really pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah. What will happen if you get them wet?
Let's go find out, because that's what we're concerned with, right? We're concerned with,
do they hold moisture?
Hold moisture. Now the peat moss is soaking, we'll get some of the Komorebi moss. We'll find out the name of this moss and tell you guys. I'm sure you moss experts already know. So now we've got both mosses. Look at how, like, not dripping too much, but if I go like this,
Well,
very spongy, right?
very spongy.
That'll hold moisture in garden soil.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when we mix this with compost and get the proper ratios, this will be an amazing soil amendment. What do you think?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
So I say we stop buying everything and we produce it ourselves on site.
Let's do it.
Okay. We've been getting tons of folks DMing us on Instagram, on Nicole's Instagram and my Instagram about, they don't know what we're doing with the bark. They're like, why bark in the bottom of these beds? So bark in the bottom of the beds. Number one, blocking weeds. When Nicole and I were woofing in Portugal, we were woofing in Spain, woofing in France, was the number one thing that all those woofing farms had.
A ton of weeds.
So many
weeds. A ton.
And so we're in a similar kind of wet climate like that, so we don't want to have weeds. So it's going to block the weeds. As it breaks down, it becomes really healthy, amazing soil that the plant's roots will grow through. It's basically sheet mulching. Mm-hmm. And it's a free resource. It just fell off of all those wood chunks I've been chopping for the...
Yeah, it was like perfect timing to have them, yeah.
It's as if I saved them on purpose.
Oh.
Look, just a couple days in the sun, it's already like...
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring more seaweed, and then the bark will break down. It'll block all the weeds popping up, and then we'll take this moss and mix that in with our soil. And then we're gonna be composting a lot. So I really just want to start the beds off with some locally made, organically certified, OMRI certified compost, which is what we have coming out here by boat. So we have to, they put it on pallets for us, and they're barging it over. So we have to go and really...
So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have that.
For sure.
Then we can start planting.
And we're leaving about enough room for about, I would say, like maybe 8 to 12 inches of soil to go on top of the bark. But the plant's roots will find a way through this bark eventually. And I mean, who knows what this area will be long term, because our real garden area is going to be the 1 acre we're making for fruit trees and garden over there. But
mm-hmm. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Ow.
Are you testing it? Let's see.
Whoa.
That creakiness sounds legit.
Yeah, it does. That's not too bad.
All right, now spin toward us as Dr. Evil. That is not the Dr.
No,
Evil pinky. It's
like this? What is it?
It is pretty close.
$1 million. That was bad.
What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Hey, special thanks to one of our fans or patrons or both. What?
Or one of our patrons.
That's
gave
cool.
this to us, so thank you. I like it. We can finally hang it up.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
I filled this one. Yeah.
We're building healthy soil, so this is a good bottom, so we just add one. Come on, bro. Load up. Let's go. Come on. Come. Come on, Puma. Come on.
So, are you excited?
For sure.
It's a big day today.
Well, I really wanted to make our own compost 100%, but I think this is a smart play to deal with some OMRI certified organic, locally made compost to start the beds, and then from this point on, we'll use all our own compost.
This is starting us off.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. So yes, I'm excited.
Okay, heading down to the dock because it has to get barged over here. So I'm gonna go load it up and then bring it up here. And then we can start gardening for realsies. We both did a face.
On the bottom, you got one fork on the bottom pallet and one above it.
We got our soil. I'm really excited.
Hey, so what's your opinion of this locally made, organic, OMRI listed compost, but it's in bags?
We have a lot of upcoming projects where we can reuse the bags. So this knife is super awesome. It's actually Jake's, but I kind of stole it from him. It was handmade by this guy. You can find him on Instagram, Madewell.
Madewell Knives.
It'll be flashed on the screen and it'll be in the description. But this knife seriously is like my best friend.
Look at the woodwork on the handle.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And he made a custom case for it.
Wait, let's see from the top. It has such a cool design and pattern from the top.
Yeah.
Now flip it. There you go, right there. Amazing craftsmanship.
Yeah, this knife seriously is awesome. I take it on all my runs. I take it when I go foraging for food.
Foraging for mushrooms.
Foraging for mushrooms. Okay, it's time to garden. Is that it?
Why don't you grab your bag? I'll grab my bag and we'll do the initial.
The first pour.
I think like a red tape cutting ceremony at a new building or a new project. I think this is the red tape cutting ceremony for us. So we got the black flies all around and putting the first soil. What's that?
We gotta keep moving.
Yeah, putting the first soil inside the raised beds is like.
It's like, woo! Touchdown!
Feeding my heart for sure. You gonna go first?
Yeah.
Oh wait, not like that.
Woo! This is so exciting.
Come here.
Oh.
Just fold them in half?
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Oh, it's so pretty. Wow, it's like so black. What's coming on? We're getting serious.
Nobody can see, like the black flies are next level.
Next level.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty much the way that we're attacking these raised beds is the bottom of the raised beds is bark to block all weeds, to nourish the soil. So as over time, when we introduce moisture into the raised beds, it will break that bark down. It will turn into amazing soil. The plant's roots will eventually grow through it, but for the time being, it'll block all weeds from growing through. Nicole and I woofed and volunteered on farms in Portugal, Spain, and France, and number one problem I saw on all these European homesteads was that they had unbelievable weed problems. And laying a garden out the proper way will discourage weeds long term. So typically in a city you would take cardboard boxes, break them down and use them to sheet mulch on the bottom, but we're gonna use bark because it's free, more organic, and we got lots of it. Then over top of the bark we have a layer of seaweed. Then we have the compost. So the bottom half of the raised beds is going to be compost. And the top half of the raised beds is going to be a combination of compost, a combination of moss, a combination of seaweed, and broken down shells that we're going to use kind of like rock dust. Nicole and I really want to hit the ground running and grow a lot of raised beds and a lot of food from the beginning. We don't want to pussyfoot around. I've been gardening so long. I don't want to start slow. I want to get off to the races and really grow some serious food, because the long-term goal and the short-term goal is to get off the food grid. You know what I'm saying? Get off the grid in terms of food. So we found a place locally in one of the nearby towns that produces OMRI organic certified compost that's 50% leftover fish morts that don't use antibiotics, and 50% the rinds, like the broken down pieces of wood after loggers get through with logging. So they say that their compost is 100% recycled materials, and it's literally OMRI listed. It's organic. We're gonna start inoculating our raised beds with this locally made soil. So we had all the compost delivered on pallets. We're going to reuse the bags for other projects we have coming up. Not one bag will go to waste, plus all the plastic for the bags is recycled and 100% recyclable. All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. Hey,
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I think it looks beautiful. The bugs are like up my nose and
Yeah, for sure.
bad. Just
so that you guys know, when we say we're getting swarmed by black flies while we're doing these projects, This is what we're dealing with here. Look at this. I stopped moving for 10 seconds and here's what it looks like. These black flies, they bite like mosquitoes.